Here we are at the City Park Disc Golf Course. A quick look at their sign. Gives some beginners who might not be familiar with the course some good direction. And let's go take a look at the course. The first thing you'll notice are some of the awesome signage that they have out at the course. Some of the most unique signs that you'll see anywhere, with great pictures of the fairway along with some suggested routes. The tees are natural tees. I'm here after there's been some rain in the area, and as you can see, the tees are natural tees. Let's look down the fairway toward the basket. Some beautiful oak trees with the lake lining the left, and if we step across here, we can see the basket down there at the end with some greens, maybe 15-25 feet from the lake. The road has not been in play as OB, so I'm not sure about the tournament. Let's head down and look at the green. Here's a look at the green on hole 1. Basket, and do notice that you have water off to the left, somewhere probably between 25 and 30 feet, so be careful throwing a driver that might skip. Here we are at hole 2. Again, some beautiful signage along with the suggested routes to the basket. Again, natural tees, kind of a combination of dirt with some shells. And a look at the basket. Notice the lake on the left, and there's the basket sitting back there. Again, probably off to the left you have probably 20 feet or so, and then you'll be in the water. We'll look at that as we get up next to the green. Here we are at 2's basket, and once again notice possibility of water not too far from it. Again, I would say somewhere in that 25 to 30 foot range. Let's just take a look over. So I'm going to take some steps. I'm about 5'7", maybe 5'8" in shoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 steps to the water. Here we are at hole 3. Kind of a straight shot. A look at the basket sitting under a beautiful oak tree at the end, protected from the hyzer route by some limbs to the right side, and from the Anheuser route protected on the left. Here we are looking at hole 4's tee. Step over. Look, this one tees through a small gap down to a basket protected once again by a beautiful oak tree. And here's a look back through the gap off of the tee box. I'm about halfway down the fairway, and a turn to, there's the basket there. Hole 5's tee sign. So look at the basket. Kind of a slow right turn to straight shot up on a little mound that can make for a little bit of a fast green. Be aware of people teeing off for hole 6, which is located just near that building. And I'm not sure, but there's another hole coming back the other way that you could get into, so just be aware of that. And here we are at 5's green. Notice the mound that we talked about being a little bit tricky. Make for a fast green. As you can see, it slopes away pretty immediately. You have this tree. It's real bushy at the base, maybe 15, maybe more like 20 feet away. As you get in there, you might have to make kind of a putt from a knee or something on a comeback. But as you can see, the mound kind of goes in a nice circle here to make for a tricky green. The only thing I will say again is be a little careful. As I walk, you can see there's a tee coming back, so any overshots on this hole could land into that tee box. Hole 6 tee sign. Slow Anheuser around this tree, so if we step out here, here's a look at the tee box. The right sides look like it's holding up pretty good. Got some grass in it. Little tricky, it looks like, over here to the left, so you may want to tee back. Again, a natural tee, so just be aware of that if you come and it's raining. And then step out a little bit farther, we can see there's this tree that you need to ante around, and there lies the basket on a slow downhill anhyzer. Let's go down and take a look at that green, as there is a small creek behind that basket. Here we are on hole 6 green. The real danger to this green is the drop off that's not too far behind it. As you can see, leads its way down to a small creek. So any overshots have the ability on the ante line to get to the creek. I'm not sure if they'll be playing it for OB in a tournament, but even if not, there's a lot of punishment. As you can see, it is really, really thick. Here we are at hole 7's tee. 7's tee box. I can't really tell where the right side is, but there's the left marker. Again, mostly just dirt here. And then, as you can see, the basket right there, protected on the right and left by some nice obstacles, with out of bounds on the right being the sidewalk. Look at 8's tee sign. A couple different routes the tee is showing you that you can get there from. Left side of the tee box, right side might be in that little puddle of water there. Looks like some of the local guys have been out trying to help drain this tee pad to get some of this water out here. So once again, as you will find with almost all the tees, they are dirt, so just be aware that if you're playing in rainy conditions, it can be a little tricky. As we look up, we can find the basket framed down at the end between a couple of beautiful oak trees. That's one of the things you will find. This park has some just absolute gorgeous scenery and some big, majestic old oak trees. Let's go down and take a look at the green. Here we can see the green for hole 8 on a very small incline, but nothing really too much to worry about. All right, let's go look at hole 9. Hole 9's tee sign shows you pretty much a straight shot just to a basket out in the open. Got a beautiful oak tree behind it, but kind of one of those holes that more or less just gets you from point A to point B. This tee box is in a little better shape. Left side over to the right side. Again, that mixture of dirt and some type of red gravel substance. Look at the basket. Again, nothing too fancy about this one. 200 some odd feet straight ahead. Hole 10, again showing a couple of routes to get to the basket, to the left or to the right of the base of the oak tree. If we look down the fairway, we can see the basket there. Again, basket there. Coming back. The hole is only 338 feet, so be aware that a really big drive could possibly get into the road. Looking at the tee boxes, again, natural tees. This one looks like it's packing in very well and it's really holding up. And here's a look down the fairway from the right side. Most righties tend to go this way, throwing a nice flat shot out and letting it hyzer back. Here we are at 10's green. Again, you can see the road probably about 35-40 feet behind and to the right. Nice beautiful oak tree that this sits under. Some overlying branches that can knock your disc down if you come in with a high hyzer. Hole 11's tee sign, only 164 feet, but as you can see, plays over a canal. The basket's there, and we have the road to the right. Look back at 10's tee. Water short of the basket by about 25 or 30. And here's the basket. Nothing real tricky about the green, but do notice there is a sidewalk that comes to the right and long behind the basket. Here we are at hole 12. Straight shot, 225. We step out just a little bit. You can see this hole lies on a kind of a peninsula with water short, left, and then back again behind the basket. We'll take a look at that. Some beautiful willows as well as some palms back behind that basket. Here we're looking at 13's tee sign. Most of the righties play a real low, flat shot right over that little mound and allow it to hyzer back to the basket, which you can see right there. Again, tee boxes. Dirt on this one as well. Kind of a mixture. Dirt and some grass along the right side. On hole 13, a lot of lefties look to go out over the water and bring it back in from left to right toward the basket and take that approach. And again, you can see the basket at the end. Here we are at 14's tee sign, 197 feet. A lot of the righties go big hyzer over this and bring it down. But if we step over here to the tee sign, to the tee area, which is again is a mixture of dirt, you can see there is a very small gap that you could throw through that would lead you right to the basket. Again, hole 14. Here's a look back from the basket through that very small opening I showed you. You can barely see the tee sign down there on the right. And talking about the big hyzer route, again, here's the basket. If we look up high, we can see the hole that a lot of people are spike hyzering down at this basket. And that again is for righty spike hyzers. Here we are on 15, looking at 236 feet. Looking up, the basket's protected by a majestic oak tree with some beautiful low-hanging limbs that can catch you up as you come in from right to left. And again, there's the basket. Another oak tree to the left for those who might try a forehand or lefties. Then a look down at the tee shows, again, a natural tee. Hole 16 tee sign, 365 feet. Beautiful straight shot, framed by a line of oaks that you need to penetrate low and flat to get to the basket. Hole 17's tee sign, 255 feet. Low ceiling, framed by some oak trees. Little oak tree there serving as an obstacle to the right, and you can see the basket at the end. Hole 18. 2 pin placements on this one, 420 feet and 575. Look at the tees, natural tees. There is a mando on this hole. You need to pass to the left side of that tree. And there is a road off to the left, which is OB, which could be some danger. The basket, when in its short position, is all the way at the end, just on this side of the canal. If you can get there, it's a perfect place to land on your first shot to go over the canal where the basket's on the far side, and we'll show you that when we get up there for your second shot. I'm standing in the short pin position for 18. You can see the tee sign down there, and over here we have the tree with the mando. Road to the right. Zooming back in, and if we turn again, we talked about the short pin position was just short of the canal. We can see the long pin position, which is just over on the other side of the canal. Be careful getting in here on hole 18. As you can see, it's a small alligator.